Hi everyone, welcome to Sideshow Live. There's all kinds of cheering in the room now. That happens mostly because we're funded.
We are funded.
We are funded. This is so exciting. So I know that you guys all know Tom, right?
Hey.
Tom Gilliland, he's back, and then this is Pat. Hi Pat.
Hi Pat.
Hello.
Pat is from USAopoly and helped make this beautiful, beautiful game. That is gorgeous. We actually have like a top camera. See when we talk more about the game. Oh, there we go. Top camera.
You can do cool stuff like look at this.
Oh, Vanna White it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really satisfying.
So it is actually. All right. So that's going to just be the whole show. Hand motions across the beautiful game board. Well, we are going to be talking about Court of the Dead, Mourner's Call, the tabletop game with special guest Pat Marino from USAopoly. So yay, that's exciting. So we're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to be talking about the J. Scott Campbell Tinkerbell statue. And then we're going to be back with Pat to talk about Thanos Rising, the board game. And we even have 2 copies of Thanos Rising to give away in the chat channels today. So that is really exciting. Also, because it is Infinity War week. If anybody spoiled, we have many fans in the chats right now, so if anybody spoils anything, even in a fake, funny way, we will find you. We have a whole army. Go forth. Yeah. So to celebrate the Infinity War movie, we will be giving away a Rocket and Groot premium format figure set. So not just one, but both of them. And head on over to sideshow.com/live contest to enter for your chance to win that set. It's pretty amazing. We'll be doing a feature on the Avengers Assemble collection because we got a new lady in the collection just now. Very exciting. So let's just get to it because we have so much to cover and so little time. First up, featured collector is Wilson Romero. Let's take a look at his collection. Whoa. Wow. That's like old school.
He's got a lot of classics.
A lot of classics, but also a couple new ones. I see Leatherface. That's a pretty recent one. Anyway, that is an amazing collection, Wilson. Thank you so much for sharing with us. If you would like to be our next featured collector, head on over to sideshow.com/blog and click the apply now button. We like all kinds of collections, so be sure to apply. So, you know what? Let's just skip news. We all know that Infinity War is coming out. Let's talk Court.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
So, this is Court of the Dead, Mourner's Call. I'm going to eventually hit you.
Really?
Just like smack.
That's the key piece. That's what I can expect out of this show? Where's my agent?
Oh, no.
Anna never hits me.
Aww. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Mourner's Call. So first up, Pat, what is your role at USAopoly and how did you come to be working on this amazing court game?
Luck is the answer to the second question, I think. So my role at USAopoly and Project Raygun is content development. So that means anytime we're doing a new licensed game that has original mechanics, I'm the rules guy. So I do all the parts that make the game work and make it work with the theme and the story and all of that, write the rule book, all the spreadsheets and behind the scenes kind of mechanics that make a game function.
That's so awesome. Yeah. That's really cool. So tell us, both of you, a little bit about, well, it says the new Kickstarter. I guess it's not even new anymore. It's like...
Well, it's not exactly dated.
No, I mean, it's... Yeah, but I feel like, you know, it's just getting more interesting. Like all the stretch goals are being hit. And it's just really exciting to see the next one. We're like refreshing in our office, being like, what's going to unlock next?
It is an addictive deal, right?
I know. It's just like, I need to unlock it. I need to unlock it. Who can we get to donate so we can unlock it? I heard that you made like an upsell to a telemarketer.
Yeah, so my phone gets an endless number of telemarketer calls. So for some reason yesterday I was just right in the zone. They called me to sell me contracting things and I said, you know, I don't need any of that, but you know what? Do you play board games? Do you have a Kickstarter account? And
That's
believe it
so
or not,
perfect.
she took down all the information, and I would love to figure out some way to see if she actually backed it.
That is so cool. Well, isn't there a list of backers on the Kickstarter page? You can see a list of backers, I think.
I didn't have the presence of mind to get her name.
Oh,
I was too busy,
okay,
like, giving
okay.
my pitch. So,
Yeah, but that's amazing. So, you know, telemarketing.
It all doesn't work out. I've got that to fall back on.
Exactly. So how long did it take to develop this game?
Well, we've been working on it for the better part of a year and change or some. I think if you want to include the lore and everything else, that obviously goes back a few years. So that's a major part of sort of setting up the game. The Chronicle of the Underworld was kind of the essential Bible that we shared with Project Raygun and USAopoly and certainly with Pat. And that's kind of the lexicon that we use to kind of, sort of extract the different themes and everything else that go into the bedrock of the game design.
Awesome. So then what exactly goes into designing like the dynamics? Like you were saying that you take the story and make sure it fits in the world, but how do you decide on gameplay? And
yeah, that's always a tough initial discussion because we tossed around some ideas of sort of skirmish game where you have like a dungeon crawler aspect. But what we decided with this one was we wanted to tell as much of the big story, the introduction to what is Court of the Dead, how does this world function, what is the overarching legacy of sort of the rise part of the storyline, so that all of our hobby gamers, right, who may be new to Court of the Dead are going to jump into this world and really want to explore the lore more, and then the fans of Court of the Dead are going to be able to experience a lot of the lore and characters they already know. So we kind of dialed up from, you're playing one character to how do we have it sort of be the whole world and encompassing of that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so from there it's a lot of like playing a lot of other games and kind of getting ideas of what we like, what we don't like, what might fit with this storyline and drawing inspiration from different places. The initial board is still sitting next to my desk, and it was like black with like circles on it to represent the locations, and the wallows were like puzzle pieces that went on the outside. And
well, there's a lot of imagination, believe me, that had to come from here to what was in front of the table.
Just so you all know out there in the audience, be sure to send us questions because we can answer them live on the show. So any questions you have about the game, where to find it, sideshow.com/Kickstarter. Woo! Or, just various things. The question that I kept seeing yesterday on our Facebook page, which was hilarious because Rachel, who works on Court, actually asked the question is, where's Kier? Because Kier is such a popular character. So was there a strategy behind leaving out particular characters?
Well,
for those of you asking about characters, I will say like this was a very, very close collaboration between Project Raygun and Sideshow. There were no oversights in that, so
everything is deliberate.
Yes, so
we're up to stuff.
Yeah, it's like there's something brewing underneath the surface, bubbling up,
without a doubt. And I think we saw, yesterday, once we made the quest bracket, we opened up a couple more of the stretch goals to show how the game is going to progress and advance, and that put Demethyle literally on the board.
He was another one I got.
A court character that actually has tabletop influence. So the current court members, which are all the big sort of generals and administrative power brokers or whatnot, their effects are felt somewhat, abstractly. They're not represented on the board. But Demethyle is the first court card that does have a footprint that is similar to Death and Malavestros.
Oh, wow.
So if you saw yesterday and you noted that the Malavestros card has an ability to step into the Ilvernus environment on the table and actually influence the situations on the sort of dudes on a map portion of the strategy of the game, Demethyle now has a role that is his own, but similar in that same effect.
Wow. So by unlocking Demethyle, does that change at all the way the game is being played, like in general? Like, would you have to adjust rules, or would it be fine to play without Demethyle?
Well, I think the thing that's, you could do either, but the thing that is wonderful about the way that, Pat's approached the game and how we kind of keep, are sort of setting up sort of these puzzle pieces that can be put in, is that all they do is add to the game. They don't change or topple the game mechanics.
Okay,
so one of the things that was just amazing about Pat's ability to be able to take the sweep of all the lore and capture the sense of this sort of hard scrabble rebellion where they're caught between a hard place and a rock, between the celestial suspicion that's always over them and their own dark impulses through the Dread's grip, was to kind of create these little ways to kind of continue to add to the story. So that's definitely a favorite part of my experience with this, because the game already has so much of it in it, and we can always keep adding a little more.
So we have a question from I think YouTube, are you allowed to tell us some of the other stretch goals that aren't unlocked yet? Just like a tease or a hint?
I am not allowed to say.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Anna's like, because she's Bone Faction, you never know.
She's pretty on the rules.
Yeah.
So is Pat. So, my freewheeling.
I was going to say, I'm
suppressed.
Spirit Faction, so I'm very much like, ooh, I want to know everything about everything. Tell me. Oh, I won't tell. And then I'm like, hee hee hee. I mean, that's to me Spirit.
You are definitely a secure source. I can see that right now very clearly.
I know, and then it's like I don't control our social media or anything. That I'm like, I mean, I promise not to tell.
Now we're trying to hold a few things back to keep people excited and engaged, and we want to have some surprises across the campaign as people continue to back and support us and get that total up. So as we reach stretch goals, we'll kind of unveil sort of the way we did yesterday when we funded. Suddenly, some of those new stretch goals appeared. That will continue throughout the process. Yeah.
Refresh, guys. Refresh.
A little bit of a
like
striptease tactic to be a little evocative, right?
On that note, is this more like a board game night type game, or is it more of a Dungeons and Dragons role play type game? Reef Master would like to know in YouTube.
I guess it depends how you categorize those things. Like to me, a D&D.
D&D can be a game night game.
But you've got that campaign element where you have to come back to the table over and over and over.
Okay.
Well, there's also prep. I mean, you gotta prep that. The DM has to set the stage, do a lot of mapping and everything else.
Oh.
So,
so it's not like, because a game night game I think of as like Pandemic, where you can just put out the game.
Yep.
These are the rules, and so it's more like that.
That's definitely.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and there's some great videos going up on YouTube by some different contributors that have introductory rules videos. There's one by the Rules Girl. I think it's like 8.5 minutes that gives you the whole, here's how to play. So you can invite people over, show them that video, put the game on the table, and you're off to the races.
It kind of answers the other question that Reef Master has, is there a place where he can watch either the game being played, or if we're going to be live streaming it during the Kickstarter, like people actually playing the game? He's interested in that. I feel like Reef Master should back this game, because you have a lot of really good questions about it.
There's several at this point.
Yep.
Like you said, the Rules Gal does an incredible job of concisely putting the entire game experience down in roughly 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it's just right on, and it's really clear. It's got lots of graphics. So if you want that kind of introduction into the rule set, you could watch that. You would completely be able, ready to play right there and then.
That's awesome.
And I think then, just the overall question of like, every night you could play this, it'd be a different version of the rebellion or whatnot. So you don't have to come into it with anything other than just, your, trash talking attitude and a little sense of you're going to walk away the winner, I think.
That's awesome. So Juan Saveda, I'm so sorry, I just butchered your name. Juan would like to know, in Facebook, will there be continued updates on this game? Like, when the Kickstarter ends, will there be like expansions or anything that comes out afterwards, after everybody gets their initial game?
I think some of that's still TBD. So we've obviously had a lot of fun collaborating, doing this project, with Sideshow and Project Raygun working together. There's a lot of lore in this universe to play with. And
just start unlocking things.
Right. There were some ideas we played around with for different games before we landed on this idea. So there's potential there. And as Tom said, like, this game was built in a way that we could continue to introduce different characters and different mechanics into it. So, a lot of that content is floating around in the stretch goal potential area. So that's out there. But you never know.
Awesome. So the question now is, what is, besides, the truck that just drove by, thanks for that. Anyway.
They're bringing in the games.
Oh, they're bringing Kier, because that's what everyone's asking for. They're like, got her right here. Anyway.
She seems more like a Corvette person than a truck driver.
I feel like Kier is more like a just... I feel like I know she doesn't have wings anymore, but I always see her like descending. Like she's always jumping. Like if she was
driving the Corvette off
and
a ramp,
yep.
And then
and jumping like a ravine.
That's kind
of
how it has to happen.
Yeah, I get that. So go watch the 8-minute video explaining gameplay, but can we go over a little bit of how to play the game, just very quickly, so that way our audience knows, like, this is the concept of Mourner's Call.
Sure. So Mourner's Call is played over a number of rounds based on the Unity tokens. So players are going to score points really 3 ways: by collecting Unity tokens, by increasing their influence on their player board in the 3 factions, and by completing their own hidden objective. So at the start of the game,
A hidden objective, I like that.
each player gets 3 hidden objective cards, 1 per faction, and they pick 1 to complete, and then they align themselves with that faction. So you can play as Flesh, Spirit, Bone, and each one you pick is going to kind of shape your strategy and approach to the game a little differently. So we tend to find you never have the same experience twice, which makes the game engaging, and there's always a new angle to take in your strategy. When the Unity runs out, that sort of signals that the Underworld is ready to move to the next level and engage in this war with Heaven and Hell, and so that's our game timer. It's built right in. And so we'll play round after round until the timer runs out, and it's usually 3 rounds. It's pretty consistent that in the 3rd round, the last of the Unity is earned. There's a nice reference phase card that walks you through the 8 phases of each round.
Let's make sure it's Spirit Faction right there.
And it's a mix of some things that have to be done collaboratively to manage the Dread Script, manage Celestial Suspicion, and then some things that really are all about what's best for you, which is a lot of your deploying figures onto the board to control locations, gaining figures from the different guilds, so you have guild majorities and get those bonuses, and then collecting the resources you need to carry out your own plan. One of the things I'm really happy with that was I think a tough development piece was the Wallows.
Yep.
We tried a lot of different versions for this, and what we landed on is these Wallows cards, which are like side quests. So for people who are familiar with the video game world, and you've got your main objective, that's your ulterior motive, but then every round you get this new side quest, and you have to make some tough choices about, well, do I pursue this because the bonus is going to be really good for me, but it might also take some of the resources away from the main plan that I have in mind. So there's always those interesting choices to make there.
That's like, the choice part, since this is a game that has a bit of a mix of intrigue and maneuver and influence peddling or whatnot, the notion of, since there's always moral conundrums in the whole thing and self-determination being a big ethic of the property, the idea of having to make choices that are sometimes for the better of all, sometimes for yourself, huge part of the game. And the fact that there are all these different variables mean that the targets are always somewhat moving. So your ability to kind of make your choices kind of on the fly is kind of where the fun tension of the game kind of goes.
Oh, I'd be so bad at this game.
No,
because I'd be like,
you're terrific.
No, I'd be like, do it.
Well, what's fun is because it moves around in the rounds and it's very circular. So you go, I go, the next person, and it's very quick in that regard. So you may find that, hey, you know what? You want to know what I'm going to do, and then Pat, so that you can make your move, you can use a pass move, which allows you to kind of move the action and whatnot. So especially when you have like a 3, 4, 5 player game where you have enough seats to really keep a vigorous passing mechanic going.
Are we doing a game night with everybody? Because I really want to play.
100%.
I haven't played yet. I haven't played this yet, by the way. Just so.
Wow. No.
I know.
No guilt ridden.
I know.
Some
I
context
asked
there,
to
I guess,
play.
right?
I asked someone if I could play. He's off camera over there, but I didn't get to.
We'll blame him.
Yeah, we'll just blame him.
So.
Life-size model. Anyway. Cool.
So I stepped on you, Pat, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, too, for folks who want to see like the actual gameplay, we did a segment with Twist Gaming, which is part of the Twitch channel, and Josh and Matt played a 2-player game in its entirety on their live stream. That video is up on their site, so folks can watch a 2-player game unfold and see some of the choices they make and how they play.
And what's the website for that?
Twitch.com/twist, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Or Twist Gaming, one of the two. Yeah.
So my Q&A iPad is offline, so if anybody has asked questions,
just shout them out.
Just shout them out to me.
What do you got?
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Trying to see what you want to do.
Well, he figures that out. So
Yeah.
what faction are you?
Oh, I'm Spirit.
There you go.
Like 1,000%
See, I wore
Spirit.
my shirt to support
Yeah,
you.
I know. No,
It's
you
a home
didn't.
territory.
But still,
Court of the Dead sort of in general question, not so much about the game.
Oh, by all means.
From Joan Maxon.
Okay,
Will
Joan.
there ever
Joan.
be a Shard Mortal Trespasser premium format re-release because she missed out?
Well, possibly, but it wouldn't be the same one.
Nope. So the one thing about Shard, though, is she is, in the sense that she's the mortal trespasser,
she
she
in
is
here?
that mortal Alice in Wonderland look into this world. So her role is significant in the story that we're building through the Rise, Conquer, Rule trilogy. So chances of her having a new version,
She's in the
are
game.
very significant. So yeah, the game would not be complete without her.
I
So.
like that description that you just did for her. That's so apt. I mean, obviously you created her and created this, so obviously you have the best description. But I'm
I
gonna
hope.
I'm gonna
Not
use
every
it.
day.
Did you guys cover the next stretch goal? What the next one is?
After Demethyle. Did we hit
The
Demethyle?
new stretch goals have just popped up on the
Oh, wow, we're sitting here.
That's amazing.
Things are happening.
Yeah.
So what's
I keep forgetting where to look.
The game.
Yeah, so for folks who might not be familiar with UV Spot, that's sort of that reflective touch, and one of the things we wanted to do is this beautiful artwork is to accentuate all of the etheria that's flowing through the board with like a reflective UV spot. So not very common that boards get the UV treatment. It's usually box art, but for this we just felt it was really the way to make this whole thing pop.
All right, and then the other stretch goal that's showing now is the 17 metal skull tracker.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Oh, there we go.
So
Ooh.
this one has been a big request from folks who have seen the prototype. We had the round chip skull pieces on the player boards to track your influence, and then the ones for these tracks. You know, we heard some feedback that, those look a little big for the boards and all that, and we recognize that. And those were just quick prototypes we made. The hope is to include these nice metal 3D skull pieces that will rest very nicely on your player boards and keep track of your influence, and then keep track of both the Dread Script and Celestial Suspicion.
So it's just metal, metal, and more metal.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we like to mess with the sound guys with our
I hate
metal.
that.
I know. I know.
Tom?
Yep.
JJ Joe wants to know if you were able to get any sleep at all last night.
JJ.
Not last night, the night before.
Yeah, actually, Monday night was much more stressful
Yeah.
than last night. Last
gonna
night
say,
was
last
pretty
night we-
celebratory, but I stay up late mostly anyway. So I got to bed at 1. So
There you go.
We have backers in the chat that are calling out their backer number.
Oh, that's awesome.
whoa,
Jason 134.
134. There you go.
Tenchi 159.
Wow.
JJ 432.
Wow.
All right, way to get in there.
Francis,
Kitty, what number
595.
were you? Do you know?
I was up in the 800s because I had to back after work.
Oh, right.
I forgot to do it. I think my
She
backer
got
number's
locked
in
out
the-
of her
is in
Kickstarter
the
trying to log into
175
it.
range. Oh, really?
She was like,
That's
I don't
always
know what
great,
it
right?
is.
What's my password? No.
She's like, I just want the game. It was pretty awesome. So we have backers in our own company. So that's awesome.
So we have another question about.
Have at it.
Can you tell us about Kayla Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. So Kayla Kyle is a amalgam of memories of various past lives that have kind of coalesced into a sort of guardian spirit. And her key power has proven to be that she is incredibly resilient in the face of the Dread Script. So her ability to kind of keep herself protected from its corrupting influence is strong. But she's also able to sort of pass that off to others that are around her. And because of that, she ends up becoming the scion of the Dreadsbane Order, which is a knighthood order that's formed in the underworld to basically fight the Raker threats that are kind of coming from the Dread Script, which is now creating its own sort of agency creatures or whatnot. So it was once just something that affected the Mourners. Now it's starting to take over entities and create things. So that's the other end of the spectrum of the Dread Script. So in the game, on occasion, you've got the rising thread of the Dread Script that may absorb the main characters, but Raker monstrosities also influence action on the board. So cards from the Wallows deck or your every turn Wallows draw may give you a quest to go defeat one. And if you've got the Dreadsbane Order backing you up, it also helps in gameplay, in control of the board. So as you're working with the different destinations, the Dreadsbane Order track shows that the higher the Dreadsbane Order threat gets, the fewer people that can congregate in one area without it becoming more corrupted. If you've got the Dreadsbane Order token, which do we not have it handy?
I don't think we do.
There is a coin for that too. So, but that allows you to go there and safely avoid all the threat of the Dread script for that turn.
What?
So that's Kayla Kill's full sort of story. So she started the order, and she continues to sort of lead that part of the charge.
I like her already.
She's a cool character and a nice major spirit mover.
Yes.
So.
Spirit. I saw Anna's live streams yesterday where Anna was all about bones, so now I have to be like representing
She's
spirit.
so inflexible and rigid about
I know,
that, right?
I know. It's like she was sorted correctly or something.
Kind of got to go with the flow sometimes.
Yeah. So
See
if
the
you
bigger
guys
picture.
want to take your faction quiz and know where you belong in the world of the underworld, you should go to sideshow.com/
Kickstarter. Oh, I'm sorry, faction quiz.
faction quiz.
quiz.
Sideshow.com/ faction quiz. I couldn't remember if it was just court quiz or faction quiz, but it's faction quiz.
Yeah.
So don't be confused like me.
It's a simple quiz. You'll totally pass. But you do get
Everyone gets a faction.
It's your way into the
See?
game.
I
That's how
even
you
got-
find out where you sort of fit in the whole milieu. So
Yeah.
and it's a great way to start. And then you can start trash talking all the other factions and your social media.
Yeah.
And that's really the point of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to make those little Facebook profile banners
Oh, I remember the old good
because they had them for other places that sort you.
other places that sort you.
I don't know. I didn't want to bring it. I didn't want to bring that in. Hi.
The short link to the Kickstarter page is sideshow.com.
/Kickstarter. Sideshow.com/Kickstarter so you can get your own copy of Mourner's Call.
And once you know your faction, you'll be able to, when we launch the Pledge Manager after the campaign, you'll be able to tell us your preference for which box sleeve. So all of the game boxes will have
sleeves
this
aren't
art that you can see up behind us. And then there's a faction sleeve for each of the 3 factions that just slides right over the top of that box. Yeah.
I love the art for them. Who's the artist on those?
Alex Horley.
Alex
amazing
Horley.
artist who still works in classic paint.
Oh my
like
gosh.
Oil, acrylics, the real
He's
deal.
done some of the art prints too for
several of them.
Yeah.
In fact, those art prints just recently, the different factual prerogative ones, that is the art that comprises the sleeve. So
There you
the Alex
go.
Horley look is universal to the entire thing. So the Underworld United painting by him,
There you
all
go.
the faction pieces also done.
Yay, that's awesome. Do we have any more questions?
Kevin in Facebook wants to know if the backers can get autographed boxes by the Sideshow staff.
That is definitely possible if you see it at shows like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Or any other sort of public appearance. I think the aspect of us signing that will be a little prohibitive just because it's Project Raygun is the parent entity doing all the distribution and whatnot, so not as many will route through us. But if you find me at a show or any other location besides my front doorstep, I will happily sign your game for you.
Awesome. Do we have any more questions?
Another sort of general court question. Everyone in YouTube is really hoping for Court of the Dead in 6 scale.
6 scale, Court of the Dead.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a long-running discussion topic in-house.
Especially for here.
I imagined that she would be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
I think the aspect that is the challenge that we're continuing to look at solving there, to not be too evasive, is it really comes down to the bodies. 6 scale, everything is built on the body platform. Those are expensive, sets of tools to set up. We certainly believe in our property to pursue that, but we're looking for some strategic ways to get that done in a way that's really efficient and gets us the quality we're after. And I hope that's something that we're looking to solve. So.
Keep watching.
That's awesome. Yeah. Stay tuned. Sign up for the
Swarm's
newsletter.
working on stuff.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that. So.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys for coming in. If you guys, again, want to back the Kickstarter and get your own copy of Court of the Dead Mourner's Call, you want to head on over to sideshow.com/Kickstarter. We are funded, so now it's all about the stretch goals, guys. So unlock all those All those. We want all of them.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Rise, conquer, rule.
Rise, conquer, rule. We have a short video break for you, and when we come back, Tinkerbell. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back.
We all have in our history, we all have in our path, something that has been always with us. In my case, it is drawing. Everything we are creating today for the Court of the Dead has a soul, has a history. Every day, every night, I go to bed reading that history to be prepared for the next day, the next challenge, the next character, to know what is his place inside that web of history. You can see represented in that world some stories of your own life, because you have to go to reach to your own background of history, experience, and try to imagine and try to create that character. Sometimes you have an idea, a very clear idea of what to draw, and sometimes you don't. Every line, every dust on paper that you create may tell you what way to go. So it is almost like a map that you are creating for yourself. Drawing has been that companion, that friend that has always been there for me. When you're drawing, you need to go back for a moment to that time of your life when you used to draw as a child, when you don't care what people think about your drawing. And that's the moment that you have to bring on to that time when you have a blank piece of paper to be able to rescue those moments. If you are able to do that, to relive those moments that you have inside your memory, inside your history, you have the first step. And then you just have fun and follow what your brain or your heart is trying to tell you to put inside that blank piece of paper. My name is Amilcar Fong. I am a concept artist, and I am very lucky to get paid to do that.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sideshow Live. We are here with Tinkerbell. Oh my gosh. She's very delicate because she's a fairy. And beyond that, she's also a prototype. So like double delicacy. But this is the first look live at the Tinkerbell statue. Tinkerbell was designed by J. Scott Campbell and Scott Wade, and she is the second statue in the J. Scott Campbell Fairy Tale Fantasies collection. She stands about 14 inches tall. She is standing on top of a Neverland compass-themed base. That is, the details on the base for this are so cool. Hopefully Kitty's gonna get a closer look during the Instagram after party. Because this is the prototype and because of the materials used to make her, specifically her wings, I am not allowed to touch because I just get very excitable. And yes. Anyway, she has a sculpted green leaf dress, so she is all sculpt, no cut and sew, and she has like kind of a theme going throughout her where she has like her leaves on her legs and kind of like a vine thing going on. And again, on top of this gorgeous Neverland compass themed base, she will be available tomorrow for pre-order, and her exclusive will have the metal print that features the concept art. So kind of similar to what we did with the first J. Scott Campbell statue, the mermaid. Now she'll also come so they can be a whole set together. So if you would like to be the first to be notified when Tinkerbell goes up for pre-order, you want to head on over to sideshow.com/pixiedust. That's sideshow.com/pixiedust and sign up for the RSVP, and then you'll be the first to be notified when Tinkerbell is available for pre-order. That's tomorrow, April 26th, between noon and 3 p.m. So, without further ado,
Susan,
hi.
how does she compare size-wise with the Little Mermaid?
She is smaller than the Little Mermaid, but she is not true 5th scale, because true 5th scale it's more like a Tinkerbell bigger, larger than life. Because if she was because the mermaid's 5th scale, but Tinkerbell's a fairy, so she's already supposed to only be like that big. And then 5th scale would be like that big. And that just wouldn't be very detailed at all, would it? So this is this is a little larger than life. It's I think project manager John Rasmussen said she's about life size and then another third. but 14 inches tall is what you can tell people.
There you go.
Is there a way to get a detail shot of the base?
Brendan?
Zoom, my friend.
Detail shot of the base. Yeah, I was
And
like,
what about the top camera? No.
no. If the top camera is shooting at this black area and my paper.
Bummer.
Yeah, but if you tune into the Instagram after party, Kitty will be getting an up close and personal look at Tinkerbell's base, because the top is it's not an actual compass. Like, you can't use it, but it looks like a compass, and it has very nice detailing of a compass. So that is very cool. Any more questions? Nope. She's direct from Neverland. And then we
Jamie
put her...
Lambert on Facebook says that Hook would give his right arm for this one.
That's good. And there's even a crocodile on the base. Good job. We have another video to show you. And don't forget to RSVP, sideshow.com/pixiedust. After the video, we will be back with Pat again to talk about Thanos Rising. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back.
I think Jim just, in the script he wrote, he smiles, like a sinister smile or something. I thought, I'll put something different in, just my little touch. I put a little kind of sneer grin in there. He's always kind of evil. You never can trust the guy, so that was my visual character trait, I guess you would say. But it's never a good smile, though. It's never like you're happy to see him smiling. It's always like, oh, crap. My name is Ron Lim. I'm a penciler for Marvel Comics. And I'm most well known for working on the Silver Surfer and the Thanos and Infinity series. I wanted to be a Disney animator for cartoons, because I love cartoons. But then when I discovered comics, I was like, I want to do comics instead. The first comic I got was Fantastic Four. I think from that, I started liking the sci-fi stuff the best. Captain Marvel, Surfer, Warlock. Those are all my favorite stuff. Thanos has always been a favorite character of mine. I've been drawing him for like 25 years now. Even though he's evil, right? He carries himself regally, and he's always threatening. So I wanted to make sure he has that kind of feeling about him when I drew him. The Sideshow statue, I love it. Actually, seeing him, in front of you, it's a whole nother story. I mean, the pictures is awesome already, but to see him right there, yeah, I was like, whoa, it's incredible. I mean, that statue is like my favorite statue of Thanos I've ever seen.
Hi, welcome back to Sideshow Live. Don't forget, we're giving away 2 copies of Thanos Rising in the chat right now. So be sure to be talking. I don't think I mentioned it, but both Kitty and Chicky are on Facebook, and we have Dennis in YouTube. And then on the court channels, we did have Lacey, but I think she went away. We miss her. Anyway, hi, Pat's back.
Hello.
Hi. So like I said, 2 copies of this to give away in chat, but in a nutshell, how do you play Thanos Rising?
Yeah, so Thanos Rising is the story of the Infinity War movie coming out tomorrow.
Oh, geez.
I'm
Hey, remember how I was like, we're going to send the court army?
Yeah.
So anyway.
I'm doing everything I can not to spoil this, because part of the process of making this game was getting all the spoilers for the movie. And I've been good so far, so I'm going to keep that going.
So it's the story of the movie.
Yeah. And
which we're not going to explain.
Right.
Okay.
And, loosely, which everyone knows, is Thanos is trying to collect the Infinity Stones, right? And so I'll flip this around so folks can see the back of the box there. And this is a cooperative game, so all of the players are working together to recruit the different heroes from the cinematic universe.
Oh, fun!
And to fight against Thanos and some of his minions. And so players have to work together to save enough heroes and defeat enough villains before Thanos collects all of the Infinity Stones.
Oh, wow.
And powers up the gauntlet. And so he will be attacking characters. The villains will be attacking you back. And if too many heroes fall or if too many villains go undefeated, the players will lose. And it's actually quite a challenging game. Sometimes co-ops, people will tell us like, oh, it was too easy, we beat it every time. This is not that game. So if you want a challenge that will keep you coming back and trying new strategies and approaches, you'll find that here.
Awesome. So what goes into planning out the dynamics for a game like this? Like, I mean, it sounds like you kind of used the material that you were given, but how did you expand on that into like a board game?
Yeah, similar to with the Mourner's Call game, we usually start with a download of all the IP information, and so Marvel provided us, here's what we can tell you, and in this case, like there were things that they wouldn't tell us, because they were keeping things very close to the vest, and we had to figure out how to make a game with what we knew. Andrew Wolf is a designer on this one, and he had this concept for a competitive game actually that used similar mechanics, and it became apparent that it doesn't really work. Like, who wants to play Thanos? Everybody wants to play the heroes, right? And so he came up with a way to transform that concept to a cooperative game with some press your luck dice rolling, and it keeps it challenging, but there's quite a bit of strategy in what characters you recruit, how you team them up together, and each player has their own sort of micro team that they can build, and you get these great custom dice that are shown over there on the box. Thanos has some dice of his own that he's going to roll to fight back against you. And so it was a lot of kind of transforming that concept into this game, and then a lot of play testing to get the balance right, where it was difficult but not impossible, where all of the characters felt balanced and interesting. We didn't want anyone saying like, oh, well, Captain America is my favorite, but his power is too weak, or that kind of a thing. So we had to kind of figure out also powers that made sense. So you'll see like Doctor Strange on the back of the box there has the triangle icon because that's the mystic power. Captain America has fight power. So they each kind of fit into categories based on their specialty.
Awesome. So how long does it take to play the game beginning to end, usually?
Typically, it's an hour game.
Cool.
For players who are familiar with the mechanics and who've played similar games, sometimes 45 minutes, but we usually tell people an hour will get you all the way through.
It's a good length on the game. So when you guys were developing this, did you read the script, or you said there's some things they wouldn't tell you?
Yeah, no, we didn't get a full script, but as the process went on, like there were some assets we didn't have, so you see some of the characters there and the art, so all of those assets are provided by Marvel, and there were some things that came a little later in the process, and there were some characters we were asking about, like, well, can we put this cinematic universe character in? And they would say, well, no. And we would say, well, why? Maybe later, but not today. So there's a lot of that kind of figuring things out. But
did you get because there were blanks like, oh, you can't, here are the notes and here's some more information. So you definitely got more information.
Yeah, as time went on, and sometimes we had to kind of push for different things of like, well, we have a place for this character. And of course there's interesting licensing agreements and things you have to navigate with characters that belong in different license bundles than others and things like that. When you make a game with this many IPs mashed together in it, so there was some negotiating of that and working through that as well. But we were given like overarching story points, and that's what's in this game, but never like a scene by scene. Other IPs sometimes will get that like right down to like a slideshow of like,
oh wow,
like scene art and stuff of this is what's going to happen in this movie. In this one, it was more big picture and making sure that everything we did was in line with what fans are going to see this weekend.
Wow. Yeah. So Caprice Conley on Facebook wants to know how many players are needed to play a game.
You can play with 2, but it plays up to 4.
Awesome. So now like a more personal question. Who is your favorite Avenger?
Doctor Strange for me.
Yes!
It's the right answer.
Yes, yeah. It's the right answer. Yeah. Anyway, hi. Pat and I just had a moment. I mean, he's Bone faction, I'm Spirit faction. There's always going to be a rift, but we both like Doctor Strange.
But the question is, what faction is Doctor Strange?
Oh, he's probably Bone.
Yeah, he's
probably Bone. To be honest, I mean, he totally is Bone. Because he's not very mutable to be flesh, and he's definitely not Spirit.
No, he's got that laser focus. Like
Yeah, laser focus. Even his approach to the mystic arts is laser focus and rigid.
I think what I like about him is he's like the only superhero I can think of readily who taught himself superpowers.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, I'm just going to learn how to be a superhero. Like,
That's kind of why I like him too.
Yeah.
Anyway, awesome. So are there, okay. So one of these questions is a personal question. So about gaming, were there card games or board games that you enjoyed when you were growing up that kind of put you on the path towards working at Project Raygun and USA Opley?
Oh, definitely. So one of my older brothers is a gamer and a game designer as well. And so we grew up playing games together. We were into Magic for quite a while, Magic the Gathering, of course. And Hero Quest was a big one for us, and playing through the campaigns of that. Then, college happened and video games happened. And I was working at a college after I had graduated, and students walked up to me and said, "Have you played Settlers of Catan?" And I said, "No." And the rabbit hole kind of progressed from there very quickly to designing my own games.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I was like looking at Dennis because I know he enjoys Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
Got any sheep? That's one of our coworker strategies whenever we play Settlers, is just the got any sheep strategy. So is there a theme or movie that you'd like to see turned into a board game for you to design? Like similar to Thanos Rising, but your personal like fandom?
There are so many, and this is... we play this game a lot at the office because we have a fantastic licensing person who negotiates all the relationships and does that. And she's always saying, like, who should I be talking to? What's hot right now? What are people into? One of those is one we're working on right now, so I can't say anything about it. We recently... We recently came up with a concept. Andrew had the initial idea for a movie that might be interesting to look at, and so we're progressing with that. But there's always those things you'd love to do. Remaking Hero Quest is something I'd love to do, but there's some challenges there. And the King Killer Chronicle by Pat Rothfuss is one I'd love to see more games based on. Yeah, so.
That would be great. That would translate really well into gaming also. Ooh, I like that. So besides Mourner's Call, because obviously it would be your favorite, what is your favorite game that you've designed?
Oh, that I've designed? Yeah, Mourner's Call is my favorite game that I've designed by far. A game I designed with my brother that usually makes people laugh is called Fabergé Chickens. It's going to be coming out under the name Gem Hens later this year from a different publisher. It was actually signed before I worked at USA Opley, Project Raygun. And it is what it sounds like. You're feeding gemstones to chickens to get them to lay the jeweled eggs. So, yeah, there you go.
That's so cool. I love it.
That started as a joke, when we were like, oh, what's the weirdest thing we could come up with for a game? And we were typing back and forth to each other on Slack. And the thing progressed, and we were like, no, we have to design this now. This is a thing. So there you go.
That's amazing. So Armand Dubé in Facebook wants to know, does someone play as Thanos?
No, so the game is designed to play as Thanos for you. So each player on their turn will roll Thanos' dice for him, and that will initiate some actions on behalf of the game to attack players. But all of the players play as heroes.
Oh, that's awesome. So do we have winners for our Thanos Rising games? Yes. Soon, maybe we'll ask a couple more questions, and then soon. Awesome. So what are some of your other favorite fandoms?
Ooh, there's so many.
I know.
And we get to play in this space a lot, too,
I
which is
know.
why I love this game. And
I mean, we get to play in this space a lot, too, so it works. It's an awesome place to be a fan.
Yeah, we've been doing some really fun stuff with Rick and Morty lately, which is,
I'm sure, life-size model over there. Am I allowed to say your real name?
Yeah.
Okay. Because some people don't like their real names on this show. We have so many fake names. Anyway.
Yes. So I recently did the design with Hasbro for we do a lot of their like licensed games. So we did Rick and Morty Risk, which will be out later this year.
Oh, wow! Did you have anything to do with the park game? Anatomy Park.
That's another publisher. So it's interesting how the rights are divided up. Like there's some things we can do and some we can't.
Okay.
And so so that's from a different publisher.
Awesome.
But
now the question for Pat will roll again.
I know. Now that he's talking about random fandoms, hashtag. Anyway. So we have a Facebook winner for our Thanos Rising game. It's Michael Lamkin. Michael Lamkin is our Facebook winner for the Thanos Rising game. Yay, Michael! Awesome. Congratulations. Email social@sideshow.com with your information, and the subject line should be Thanos Rising, and the email body should say where you would like Thanos Rising shipped. Again, that's Michael Lamkin. Email social@sideshow.com. Please do it in the next 24 hours, or Thanos will get you. No, actually, it's just that the prize will be forfeited, and then we get to open it and play.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So more questions came in for Pat.
Are coming in. Let's see here. Bill Lahecka wants to know, do you prefer card building games or true board games?
It's rare that I encounter a game I don't like at all. I like a lot of different approaches because I'm always playing with the mechanics. Worker placement games, like what are called Euro games, like the traditional crunchy like resource management stuff is really my favorite. But working with USA Apple and Project Raygun, we do a lot more really theme-driven games, and so that's a really fun space to play in. And sometimes I'm picking and exploring mechanics like social deduction or hidden movement and things like that that are different from what I have in my collection, but that get me to think about games in new ways. So
Awesome.
Depends on my mood, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite sort of like classic board game, like along the Monopoly lines or something like that?
Favorite classic. I mean, if you're going true classic that like everybody has, right? Like the Hasbro and those types of games. Probably Clue would be the one I'd pick out of those.
We're
but
still
like,
on the same page.
Yeah. But if you're gonna go like classic Euro games and that kind of thing, Stone Age is one I really enjoy. It's a worker placement game about kind of building up your tribe of cavemen.
I have never played that game.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Do we have a winner in YouTube?
Well, we do, and I'm about to ask the question.
Oh.
So the winner is Zombie Johnny 75.
Zombie Johnny 75.
And the question, I think, ties it back.
All right, so Zombie Johnny 75, really quickly before we get to your question, email social@sideshow.com, subject line Thanos Rising, body of the email where you would like your game shipped. Be sure to do it in the next 24 hours or Thanos gets another gem.
Oh, that was perfect, because he wants to know, what faction would Thanos be in?
I don't think he'd be one. I think he'd be like...
I feel like Blood Faction, right?
Yeah.
Like
just Discord.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
Anti-unity.
I was going to say, or whatever Tom is.
Whatever Tom said.
No, yeah. I don't know much about the Blood Faction other than they were...
Exiled.
Yeah, that was my hand motion for exiled. They were put in their place.
Oh, keep that in mind next time.
Yeah, put in their place. But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's awesome. Blood Faction. Tune into more Court live streams to learn more about the Blood Faction and how it actually does affect Mourner's Rising. Or Mourner's Call. Thanos Rising, Mourner's Call. Oh my gosh, so many games.
We'll just blend them together.
And just put Thanos on the board and watch Tom's head explode. So, thank you again for hanging out with me, talking some other fandoms. It's amazing. I am really going to be excited to play Thanos Rising pretty soon. Not until I see the movie, obviously. But congratulations to our winners. And so we have a short link on the screen, and that's where to purchase Thanos Rising. Why is there Bitly on the screen? Yes, that's correct. All right, thank you. That is correct. We have another video break to show you, and when we come back, we will be looking at some of the Avengers. So yeah, Thanos, and now the people who fight him. You're watching Sideshow Live. Thank you again, Pat, and we'll be right back.
There's something about Spider-Man that every kid likes. The thought of being able to be Spider-Man was such a cool thing. And he wears a full mask, so you can always envision yourself being Spider-Man. He's just about the quintessential perfect character. My name is Mark Brooks, and I'm an artist for Marvel Comics and an illustrator for Sideshow. Every artist that draws him a certain way. So getting to like do my Spider-Man, that's really cool. And so getting to come back and be able to, you know, do them in 3 dimensions is such a cool thing. We started off with Spider-Gwen, and then we did Silk, and then of course the third one is Spider-Man. The production team on this, to see the quality and the craftsmanship and the work that goes into these, you know, it's stunning. I can't fathom what goes into it. Being able to spend 5 to 9 months where they would say, hey, can you send me this? And I would do a little sketch and send it, and then, you know, a few days later they'd send me back the sculpt of what I drew. It's like, whoa, that is the coolest thing ever, you know, because I can't do that, you know? So it's really neat. To do something in 360 degrees and make it look good, everything has to be addressed. I want the character to have life and dimension and to be very kinetic. I like movement. It's fascinating how much work goes into these things beyond what I contribute. They really are a set. I know I'm super stoked. I can't wait to get mine.
Hi everyone, welcome back. The Avengers have assembled right here on my table. It's pretty awkward because they all did superhero landings and they came in and it was like, okay guys, we get it, you're the Avengers. Anyway, this is our Avengers Assemble collection. Also, by the way, this is gonna be sort of blending into our Q&A segment. So feel free to ask questions about these guys and gals, because there's 2, yeah? We've added Wasp. Let's get a close-up look at Wasp because this is the shipping sample of her. So she is just stunning. Take a look at that. Yeah, this is Wasp based on the original founding Avenger, Janet Van Dyne. She is all sculpt with no cut and sew, and she has these cool-looking translucent wings, which we'll get to in a second. Her exclusive is this baby mini Wasp. Oh, sorry, Brendan. I just totally messed up his camera movements. She's available for pre-order now at sideshow.com/wasp. That is the exclusive, the baby mini Wasp. Well, it's not a baby. It's just Wasp sized. So sideshow.com/wasp. And there are only 500 pieces available of the exclusive. So again, all cut and sew with these really cool looking translucent wings that you can see on the little Wasp right there. She also has them on the larger Wasp, regular sized. There we go. Sorry. Alongside her is the rest of the Avengers Assemble collection. I believe all of them are still available. Like Iron Man is only available in his collector's edition. The exclusive is sold out, but this is the comic book style with the red and gold coloring. He lights up. Oh, he is lit up, but you can't really see because there are studio lights, but you can kind of see. And you can see it's lit up because my finger lit up. Anyway, he's available in the collector's edition at sideshow.com/Iron Man statue, and there are only 1,000 pieces in the collector edition, so it's a pretty low edition size. So you are going to want to get him right away. This collection just looks so amazing together. Like each of these statues on their own, they've kind of all been on the show as they've come in, but now that they're all together, you're just kind of like, this is a team that's gonna kick everyone's asses. Like I do not wanna mess with the Avengers. Like everyone's like, oh, Thanos is so powerful. He's up against these guys. Take a look. Anyway, here's Hulk. He is 23 inches tall. He is all, by the way, Iron Man's all sculpt. Hulk is all sculpt, which is just crazy to me considering I have to touch his pants every time to make sure that, like, nope, that's definitely sculpt and not fabric. It's just really, really well done. The exclusive on Hulk is also sold out, but the collector's edition is still available at sideshow.com/Hulk statue. Ooh, look at that smash face. It's a really good, it's a good looking smash face right there. He's about to smash. These guys all have Proximity. What? The Brit's laughing at me, and I don't know why. Anyway, they're all on proximity bases, so while the bases do not actually connect, they are meant to go together and be displayed together next to one another. So now we can move on to Thor. Thank you.
The hand motions for proximity bases.
Proximity bases? They go together. We want them together. The Thor statue. His Thor statue. The exclusive is only 750 pieces. It's still available, but it's on low quantity. That usually means there's less than 20. So if you want the Thor exclusive statue, you're going to have to get on that right now at sideshow.com/Thor statue. He is shipping now. He actually does have fabric element. He has this fabric wired cape that was kind of messy, and I think I messed it up more when I tried to adjust it. If I had more time, I could do some nice things with Thor's cape, but anyway, you guys can all, what?
She's cringing.
Who is?
Messing up Thor. Kitty.
Oh, Kitty's cringing because I'm messing up Thor. She knows because I messed up her Thor the other day.
And did you clarify which one is we're seeing the exclusive on
We are
Thor?
seeing the exclusive on Thor right now. Yes, because the swap out portrait on the collector's edition is the like more modern helmet. This is the feathered helmet, the classic helmet. So he's shipping now at sideshow.com/Thor statue. Now we're going to move over here to Cap. Cap is also all sculpt, no cut and sew. Ooh, look at that. His exclusive is sold out, but his collector's edition is still available and limited to 1,000 pieces. That blue scale mail armor is just something else. Look at how it catches the light there too. What an amazing piece for your collection. Wow. Head on over to sideshow.com/Cap statue because he is also shipping, so you can get, once you see Infinity War, I'm sure, I haven't seen it yet, but once you see it, you're gonna want all of the Avengers to assemble in your collection just in case. By the way, I keep trying to grab Hulk's ankle because it's like the size of a person's wrist. Like if you're holding a hand. Hulk is so big. It's a really weird thing, but it's happening. Anyway, hi. This has been a weird show. Hi. Do we have any questions from the audience about anything that we're seeing right here? Especially Wasp. God, she looks so good.
We're getting questions, but one comment that keeps coming up is they just like how Hulkbuster in the background is looming over the Hulk.
Oh yeah, and on above Iron Man.
Right.
That's so great. It's above Hulk and above Iron Man. What a great little frame right there. It's like Veronica is watching. She's right there. I love that. Now I'm seeing the frame as well. It's a pretty good frame. But funny trivia fact, Janet named the Avengers in the comics. Did you all know that? Kitty knew that. I know Kitty knew that. You knew that? Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Wasp is like one of her favorites.
I think I said it so many times in 1 week that you were like, we know.
Yeah, we all know. In fact, we knew before you said it, but we were humoring you. But she loves Janet, and Kitty, if I'm not mistaken, you have added her to your collection?
Yes.
Yes. That's really, really cool.
We're also getting a lot of questions asking who's next.
Who's next in the event? See, that's one of those questions that we need I go for, because I don't know. That's my genuine answer is I don't know. I can tell you people that I want next, like how cool would it be to have a Black Widow in this line, or how cool would it be to have Scarlet Witch in this line, or Vision.
What about Loki?
Loki's a bad guy. He doesn't go in this line.
People are asking for Loki.
Well, they can't have him.
It'd have to be classic Loki.
Yeah, it would have to be Loki with the horns, but also he doesn't go with them.
Susan says.
We have a couple of newcomers in the Facebook chat who are asking about the tiny wasp.
Oh, the tiny wasp is the Wasp Statues exclusive. So you're gonna have to head on over to sideshow.com/wasp and pre-order the Wasp Statue exclusive. Now there's only 500 of these available, so you're gonna need to do that.
And that one can go and hide in other collections.
Yeah, we keep moving her. I won't move her while I keep messing up Brendan shots. But I keep wanting to move her here to be like my chat buddy. Yeah, so she can help me read the chat. And I just want to put her places and see if you guys notice her. Like maybe she goes up with Spider-Man Homecoming in the after party. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
We're getting more questions about the art print in the back.
Oh.
What is it? And
what is it?
Is it available?
It is available. I actually don't have notes on the art print. So I know that it's by Alex Garner. I know that it's that we separated it. You can actually get Team Cap, Team Iron Man, or the whole Avengers Assembling.
I believe all they can get is the separated one.
Is the separate?
They can. That's sold out. They
That
can
one's
only get.
sold out,
Oh, so
There was an edition of 300 of the big ones, but there's also an edition of 300 of the separate.
so you guys can only get the Team Cap or Team Iron Man versions of this print that was separated out. They're still really cool, and if you put them up as a pair, you know, Team Cap, Team Iron Man, on either side of a doorway, make people choose when they walk in your house. That's where they put their shoes, under which team they are.
They are unframed.
They are only available unframed. That's cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I just dropped the link in.
Very cool. So the link is in YouTube if you're in YouTube, and I believe they're about to drop it in Facebook if you're watching in Facebook. Cool. Awesome. Ooh, I can just click it right there. Wow. Anyway, we have one more video, and then we're going to come back and do a Q&A segment, show you a winner, and then do a quick recap. So be sure to be asking questions during this segment so we can answer them when we come back for the Q&A segment. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sideshow Live. Hi, this is the Q&A segment. We decided to leave the Avengers Assemble because the Avengers are assembling this week. They started assembling on Monday, and there you go. There you go. But we have a couple questions coming in. Be sure to keep asking them because then we can keep answering them. That's how Q&As work. But first, let me announce the winner of the Hot Toys Arkham Asylum Joker figure from last week is Michael Dummett from the US. So congratulations, Michael. You won an Arkham Asylum Joker. It's really cool. We have a couple of questions coming in. Michael Lampkin in Facebook. Congrats, Michael. Michael has said, is this the new live show set going forward? This is one of them. That's the honest answer. There's going to be a couple of sets, so we can kind of do whatever works best for any given time. So this is one of them. Do you like it? We like it.
Susan's mood set.
It's Susan's mood set? Oh, like different moods, different sets? I wish I was that important. Cool. Wow, lots of questions coming in. Okay, JJ Joe wants to know, who is the best Mourner's Call player in the room? Who has played Mourner's Call in this room? Once.
There it is.
So Dennis is the best Mourner's Call player in this room.
The board was just a white sheet of paper.
And he played it when the board was a white sheet of paper. So we need to have a game night, guys. Sounds like Sideshow Live game night is about to happen with Mourner's Call. Then we will answer your question, JJ. You can ask it again in a few weeks.
It's going to be Kitty.
Oh, it's going to be Kitty. We all know that it's going to be Kitty. Yeah. We should, I mean, I know that this isn't like a collaboration game, but we should all just like take her out quickly so that way we can actually see who's the best.
The Celestials are going to get you guys.
Oh, Brett's one of those too?
Yeah.
He's a ruthless gamer?
Wrecked in Pictionary the other
That's right. We were on the same team. I'm on Brett's team. Hey, Susan, are you going to have the All-Taker premium format on the live show soon? From Michael Stark. I don't know. That's a question for Challenger. Is the All-Taker on soon? Challenger is the one who sets up segments for us on the live show and helps with the notes and makes everything pretty. This is all Challenger. So he says you can find out, which means keep watching.
Yeah, keep watching.
Awesome. Tenshi Masaki would like to know, what do you think about having Infinity War, Deadpool, and Solo all within 4 weeks of each other? Well, I think that we are very lucky to be alive right now, is what I think about that. I think that it is an amazing time to be a geek, and there's nothing else to be said. Like, I don't think they're stepping on each other or anything. I just think that it makes me want to sing Hamilton in my head, because like instantly I was like, look around, look around. I can't sing. So, but yeah, we're just really lucky that we get all these movies, and we get Ant-Man and the Wasp in July, and we have Aquaman in December. It's just a really great time to be a geek. So let's all embrace it and enjoy it and support it so it keeps happening. It's really cool. Terrell Reed wants to know, have you ever thought about selling display cases to store our statues?
Yeah.
Chicky? Yeah. Chicky says yeah.
We do have smaller ones for 6 scale that are on the site.
There are smaller ones for 6 scale on the site.
But larger display cases don't travel well.
Large display cases are very difficult to ship, and they don't arrive well. So we don't do that anymore. And we've thought about it, but sorry. You'll have to go to IKEA. There's some really great display cases there that are reasonably priced.
And they can check with locally if there's a plexiglass manufacturing.
Oh.
They can get custom.
Oh, and check locally if there's plexiglass manufacturing. Wow, that's tough to say, because they can do custom cases for people. Awesome. Ian Musgrave, off the top of your head, how many Hot Toys do you guys own individually?
Hot Toys?
Hot Toys specifically? Okay. Just someone answer who knows, but who doesn't have to. 4? 4 for Brett.
8 or 9.
8 or 9 for Dennis. You have at least 2 that I can see. No, one of those is Sideshow.
I have 10.
You have 10?
Yes.
1, 2.
6 scale is Sideshow. I think I've got about like 5 or 6 Hot Toys pieces.
Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 sitting on my desk. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll be right back.
She's counting on her fingers. That's nice.
We're going to have to get floating.
No, there's at least 27 that I can count right now.
From your collection?
Yeah, well, if you combine the ones in my house, because the person I live with also collects Hot Toys. Yeah.
Nice.
Oops. Most of my stuff is statues, though, too. Anyway, moving on. Joan Macklin would like to see which Masters of the Universe character would Susan like to see as a PF? Battle Cat. I would love to see Battle Cat. That would be great. And how cool would Battle Cat look next to your like He-Man statue? It's like rah, and then Battle Cat. Sal would like to know, where is the Sideshow S? Wouldn't you like to know, Sal? We've teased it's being made, so they need the example. They need inspiration, so they took our S.
Right.
So that means it's coming soon. Yay! Awesome, guys. Well, that wraps up the show for today. Oh, more question?
Yeah.
One more question.
Let's see.
Make it a good one.
If you get charged for a waitlisted item, is it guaranteed to ship?
If you get charged for a waitlisted item, is it guaranteed to ship?
They don't charge you
Yeah.
for waitlist unless they can confirm stock.
Yeah, they don't charge you for a waitlist unless they can confirm stock. So my answer is yes.
Question mark?
Yes. But maybe check in with customer support if you're concerned, because they have live chat available. head on over to sideshow.com, open a live chat window, and just ask for confirmation if you're not sure. Cool. Well, we showed you Tinkerbell. We had Pat Marino. Thank you so much to Pat for being on the show, not once, but twice in one episode. So he showed us Thanos Rising and talked a little bit about the gameplay for that. 2 people won Thanos Rising games. We also showed you Court of the Dead Mourner's Call with not only Pat, but with creator Tom Gilliland. So that was amazing. Head on over to sideshow.com/Kickstarter and back the project to unlock all of those amazing stretch goals, and also get your own copy of that game because you're going to get it first and with the Kickstarter exclusive. So sideshow.com/Kickstarter. We then brought out the Avengers and had them assemble right in front of you because Infinity War is this week. We will be doing a special live stream probably on Instagram because Kitty and I are in charge of it, and we decided Instagram is going to get a special live stream outside the Sideshow screening of Infinity War on Friday. So that is really cool. Remember, if you are on Instagram, head on over after this show to take a look at a closer look at Tinkerbell and some of the Avengers Assemble statues with Kitty at the Instagram after party. Head on over to sideshow.com/live contest. I'm giving you so many places to go right now, so I hope you're not busy. Sideshow.com/live contest this week is giving away a Rocket and a Groot premium format figure. That's squad goals right there, Rocket and Groot. Anyway, sideshow.com/live contest. Keep up to date with all of our live doings at sideshow.com/notified to turn the notifications on so you know whenever we go live. You guys, it's been a great show. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show. See you next time. Bye.
Thanos is one of the darkest characters in the Marvel Universe. A character who can take on the entire Marvel Universe with a grin. There's something really arch-villain about that.
Like a lot of comic book characters, especially big guys, he's got a huge physical presence. What's interesting is most of the time he's depicted sitting, so you get a sense that he's very powerful, but it's not necessarily overt.
He's the Marvel Universe villain to me. He's the Mad Titan. It's cool to have that opportunity where we can kind of take the subject matter and put our own little touch on it. So what we did was we went back to some of the original source material from Jim Starlin or from Ron Lim and find those key aspects to the character and to their costume that make them who they are and try and evolving the design.
It was pretty difficult to pinpoint it at first, to say like, what does this need without going like over the edge or like reinventing the wheel.
We've taken amalgamation of our own and made it our own, and it's kind of all the best qualities that Thanos has.
It was critical that from 10 feet back or 15 feet back, there was no question this was Thanos.
The interesting thing about Thanos is he has a long history. So how do you get the density, the sense of history in that one image?
There were a couple things that we really wanted to get across in the personality of the piece. One was this regal sense, and that's why we went for throne. But we also wanted him to be really intimidating.
We wanted the piece itself to have a presence, and if you had it next to another PF, it would be formidable.
In sitting him down, he still feels intimidating, still feels like the huge Mad Titan that he is.
You're almost really getting two characters in one with the statue because it's, you know, you've got Thanos, which is awesome, but the chair is equally as awesome.
It's got a lot of complexity and a lot of detail.
Not only is this character powerful physically, he's powerful technologically. And so I wanted the throne to represent all of that.
I wanted to push the level of color and also bring a cosmic outer galaxy look to this thing. So purplish metallic tone that goes back to his skin.
They had to design that entire paint job the same way as we had to design the entire sculpt with all the layers of detail. They had the exact same process to go through.
I think everyone involved found something that they didn't know they had, and I think that's what makes it exceptional.
Seeing this piece come to life has been awesome. It's been inspiring.
I'm hopeful that fans, when they look at it, they'll see we were as true to the classic as we could be, while understanding our ambition to push the piece as well. When you look at the portraits, there's definitely Jim Starlin and Ron Lim written all over them.
It is a team effort. It is a collaboration of many hands that make this all happen.
Everyone involved just put their A game on with this piece, and so it's definitely a testament to what we're able to do and achieve.
I really feel like the risk we took in stepping forward on this project and through the process with a couple of unknowns really to me has paid off.
There is a level of service that we have to give to the fans.
This was not going to be a project where we cut any corners.
All the fans out there know what this guy looks like. They expect a certain quality and look to this character.
When people see this piece, I hope that they'll see Thanos in a new way.